Welcome back. Another solo episode. I probably don't need to announce it every time because I forget there's a YouTube title and a Spotify title.
Yeah, people know. They know what they're looking at.
They know what they're looking at.
Right.
But yeah, it's just us three again. Hello. So usual stuff in the intro. Obviously, big up consistency and accountability 2024. That's what we're about. Just going to plug the Patreon again. So we've had a couple more patrons since the last time. Big up you lot. It's there if you want to support the channel. We have been talking off cam about exclusive content and things we can do. So I think we're going to cook some of that up. Look out for news on that one. But yeah, obviously follow the IG, follow the TikTok at Amen Brother Podcast. And yeah, let's jump into the episode, I think. One thing we didn't talk about last time, which I want to talk about, is the fact that we are going to also be uploading old episodes to YouTube. We're doing video now, but we've been doing, for those of you who don't know, we've been doing audio podcasting for the last 2 to 3 years when we weren't consistent. So
exactly.
Probably not as many episodes as you think there should be there.
Inconsistency was the pillar of the podcast back then.
And not taking accountability. But there's some there's some unbelievable guests on there. You know, we've got SP, we've got Lensman, we've got Hadogenic, Degs, Kyrist, just off the top of my head, Unglued, Mosey, we've got loads, Lens,
vibes,
wicked guests. Jack is going to be uploading those kind of interspersed between the video episodes. So yeah, people that are subscribed on the YouTube, obviously there'll be plenty of extra content to get stuck into on there. What's everyone wearing on foot? Let's start with the trainer, the crepe check.
Richard, what you got?
These are nice.
Air Max ones.
It's like the aqua. What's it called? The aqua something.
Yeah, I can't remember. You know what it was? I was going on tour, New Zealand and Oz, and I was like,
did you go on tour in New Zealand?
Yeah.
No way you went over there.
But it was obviously summer there. So before I went, I was like, I need some fresh crepe to take away. Obviously not for the dance, just to roll around in New Zealand when I was with Chica and stuff. So I just bought these. Yeah.
Feeling it.
All right.
I've also got Air Max on. These are actually, if I had a daily pair of trainers, these are actually them. I actually wear these all the time.
Yeah.
Just 97s with an interesting colour combo.
Exactly. They go with quite a lot as well.
Yeah, neutral colour trainers just go with everything.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they actually call that. I think they're called Muslin. Muslin.
Muslin.
There you go. I think there's the Air Max 97 Muslin with a little bit of pink on there. But yeah, I love these trainers. Actually, you know what's peak actually? I want to get another pair because I wear these ones to death.
Yeah.
For some reason, on StockX, these are like 400 quid.
Yeah.
And a general
I've wanted
release,
to get that colourway before,
a general
and I
release
got mugged
trainer.
off.
They weren't like a special collab or nothing.
Yeah.
It's weird with trainers sometimes.
It's just the colourway for that one, man. Honestly, that colourway just slaps for that shoe, and I've wanted it. I've never wanted that pair of shoes before until I saw that colourway.
Yeah.
Do you remember how the olive ones are them?
Yeah.
Bought standard, just standard pair of trainers, and then I went on StockX because I was like, I ruined them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I literally was like, oh my God. I was like, no way, they're like £600.
It's weird.
It's mental.
I had a couple, same with, had the all grey suede pair of Air Max ones.
Yeah.
Same. I actually got them on sale. That's not even a full retail thing. Got them on sale, and on StockX I get 400-500 quid. It's it's weird. You can't predict what's gonna. The
thing is, them olive ones have actually now come back around. I see they released a newer version of them now, so I bet that's dropped down because it's basically the same pair of trainers.
Perfect. You can get another pair then, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
And Jack, surprise, dunks.
It's a dunk. I'm taking it off this time. I ain't lifting my foot up.
You didn't do stretches this week.
It's the full white leather this time, but I've also just done the same thing. I think it was last episode or the episode before, some episode ago, I was wearing the black suede dunks of these, and I've worn those to death just because they'll go with everything, and they're such a comfy shoe. I mean, the SB dunks are just a comfy shoe. And went on to StockX and paid £180 for a trainer that should have been 100 quid.
Yeah, that's pain.
Yeah, man.
Just quickly on dunks. Obviously, you both know, I think. I thought, we were in the old drive when I bought them. Do you remember when I got the Ben and Jerry's? Do you remember that?
I do remember.
Yeah, you got Ben and Jerry dunks
on retail.
You not know about this?
No.
I remember. I 2 days later they were sold. I bought them on won a raffle, 90 quid. So I got the SB dunk, Ben and Jerry's, 90 quid. Put them on eBay. 1,400 quid. 2 days later, a guy came around and picked them up for me. So
I did not know you ever had those.
He literally come and got me in the Seven Sisters yard.
Yeah,
because he was like, "Bruv, can you just be close by in case this guy?"
When the guy came around, I was like, "Yo, can you just be here?" Because these are worth.
You don't know who's turning up. It's like a grand, a transaction is going down.
Yeah.
No, I rated it. I was like, "Yeah, cool."
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's my best ever win on a trainer.
People are mad. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's always the dunks where you get those mad like pricey wins in it. Because I got the para dunk.
Yeah, they're like 600-700 quid, aren't they?
Yeah, especially for my sort, because I'm US 14. So big boy. And mine are just, it's ridiculous. Any shoe, it's like 3 times the price. So those para dunks are like $950 now.
That's crazy. Yeah. And also, there's ones. Maybe the most expensive pair of trainers of all time, the Nike was the Paris SB Dunks. They're like what, 70 grand or something. It's always Dunks,
but I think the Krugers. I think those Freddy Krugers are the most.
And then there's also those original,
because they technically never launched those. So like, there's like a few dozen pairs floating around in the ether. So yeah,
we could definitely start a secondary podcast about trainers.
Probably could. Yeah.
I mean, you two could. I don't really care that much.
Me and Jack spend way too much time and money in this world.
It's more time than money. I wish I had more money to spend on them.
Oh,
it's more just time dribbling over the trainers I wish I could own. Yeah.
On that note, they're actually doing Nike by you of these at the moment. 175.
Oh, nice.
I would look at it.
Quality's not as good though, is it?
Do you know what it was? I've actually designed like 8 different pairs, and I ain't found a pair that I'm like, you know what, I'll pay 175 for them. I've got a pair of Nike by Yous previously, gold and black, which were Leng, but this is like, I want to do like a summery vibe, and like honestly, I've gone through so many different things. I'm like, it's just not the colorway on them, the like selection of colors on this particular version. Nike, if you're listening, mate, you need to up your game, because actually,
mate, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They hold back these things.
Yeah,
you can't have them.
Yeah. There'll be another one in like 6-8 months time.
Well, that's actually a beautiful transition, because we didn't do the IG questions last time, but we are going to do them this time.
Yes.
And one of the questions is about this actually. So Harry, I'm so sorry, I can't say your last name. I'm going to butcher that if I try and attempt it. But Harry S, we'll call him, asked us, would you put new trainers, sneakers for the Americans, on your rider if the city you were playing in had a shop with limited editions? Example, you play Boston and you ask for something from Concepts or Bodega. I would, if I was getting paid enough to command that could be on my rider. You get what I'm saying? So like, if I was like bigger than I am, and I could be like, like, I need a pair of whatever crep as part of my condition to come out and play, then 100%.
I would only do that if it was negotiated before that I was taking that off of my fee.
Oh yeah, because not taking it off.
I'd be like, if I really wanted it, and I was like, oh, actually, like you're like over in America where trainers are cheaper, and actually, to be fair, it's probably not a bad shout for most artists. But like, can you cop these for me? Knock it off my fee. Calm. I ain't putting that shit on my rider. We've done ridiculous riders on here before. I ain't entertaining.
That's what I'm saying. That's what if I was way bigger, then I can think about it. But.
I mean, I'd love next time I go out to the States for promoters to know that I am very into my trainers and sneakers, and if like they want to take me to some of these places. Because I even texted you. I was like, do you remember the first time I went out there? I was like, John, honestly, this might sound really daft, but what the fuck do I Google to find these kinds of like like stores in America, in your average American city, where I could go and have a good peruse of some good crepes? And like, I really struggled, because there was like one shop that was near, and again, everywhere in America you have the drive and it's just a mission to get to. So like next time I'm out there, if any promoters want to take me sneaker shopping, like I'd be well up for that. I'd love that. That'd be a sick day out.
No, 100. All right, next question. Jon GLXY, what was the baitest D&B tune you love when you're 18?
Clip Slippery Slope. That was my like bait. That's not because it's a bait tune, but just everybody knew it and it was a banger. But it was the bait banger of the time.
This is the thing, it's like bait's a weird one, because it's like bait and good aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. Do you know what I mean? Like you can be bait and good. And I feel like a lot of the music back then was bait and good, but maybe that's also rose tinted glasses. So yours is Slippery Slope?
Slippery Slope by Clips,
I'm like, am I Mr. Happy era? I can't even remember, but like probably at some point I was like, fucking tune.
I loved that tune when I was 18 as well. So.
Busted as well. Hazard Busted. That came out just before us.
Honestly, Slippery Slope I got earlier was definitely one of those ones as well, but I wouldn't even call that a bait tune. I think that was
just a big tune.
It's bait in terms of like, Clips' music was bait at the time.
But
obviously
I guess looking back on it,
it's looking back it's like, it's still, does it stand the test of time? Is the question.
Yes, that tune does, especially.
So it's not bait then, but at the time I guess it was. So weird. Bait's a divisive word. I don't like it.
It's difficult for me to think about that as well, because I think just back then, if I think about what I was up to then, I was doing all sorts of bait shit. Like I've got a DVD of like Innovation in the Sun, and I'm like up front in a Visionobi t-shirt, like in Skipper's face. Like that's bait.
Yeah, that's bait. That's definitely.
If you want to go down that route,
and
then
not
that's,
good.
Yeah. No, but like, you know, that was me at 18.
Yeah,
fucking loving it. Like,
it's a weird one with this one because I want to say again, yeah, like 18, Chasing Status, his first album would have been out, not Bait, but Bait because it's like, at the time, compared to like the underground D&B, that would have been a more commercial sound, if you like.
Yeah, 100%.
Granted, that album still stands the test of time today.
Yep.
Like I've been in several conversations recently about like Take You There. You were in that conversation. Me and Hannah were talking about how much we love that tune. Like,
it's the best tune on that album.
It's still an amazing tune, but at the time that would have been considered Bait, I guess. And same with the Pendulum's first album, Pendulum's first album.
Hold Your Colour,
like Through the Looking Glass and all them tunes.
Girl
like,
in the Fire,
still great. I will argue
they stand the test of time. Yeah,
that's a banging tune. So like, my entry point to D&B at that point was very much like the big mainstream drum and bass artists. Obviously, like Shy Effects before that. If we call them Bait, like it's been in the charts or whatever, I guess that it would have been all that sort of stuff. But Bait in terms of like the production of it and like the kind of melody super Bait or whatever, I'm trying to think, maybe it would have been a Mr. Happy. Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, I was just into the real like kind of like mainstream stuff before I then discovered High Contrast and Calibre and all that stuff. So yeah, I would say that'd be my answer. All right, let's keep going. Edan said, when you have a late slot, what is your approach? Sleep before or ride it out?
I've had to do this. One of the worst times we had was, I think it was Korsakov. It was a Korsakov event in Rotterdam, and me and Harry were playing 6 till 7 a.m. and we weren't even the last person on that lineup. And,
it's disgusting.
It was Dub Physics and Strategy were on before us, 5 till 6, and yeah, I think we. For some reason, the only route into Rotterdam that day for us, the only option was you've got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and fly in really, really early to Rotterdam. And then you've got to be here for 24 hours and be sensible and then go and play a set.
Were you sensible?
Well, so luckily, Rotterdam is in the Netherlands, which is where they grow lots of cannabis. And so,
literally, Sensible Jack just has to have weed. Otherwise,
that's the only way you're going to get Sensible Jack is just to get me high. But we went out and like had food and had a smoke and then went to bed and then woke up at 4:30 in the morning because you have to. You can't stay up till 6 a.m. Like
we did used to like early days of us playing like shows in Europe. And I remember we played in Liquidity in Belgium once. Like me and you definitely just started drinking at like 2 p.m. though.
Oh yeah.
Like, we've younger though.
We've done it before. That's exactly the reason why I'm not doing it now.
Yeah, I was going to say my answer is heavily age context dependent. So like 100% before, let's say when I was like 26, 25, 100% I'd be like, we'll just get on it and just party and then I'll play my set. Like, it'd be fine. I'll play my set at 5. It's
I feel like you're being loose with the age on that, mate. You're talking literally like last year.
Nah,
like
not last year.
2 years ago.
Nah,
2 years ago.
Nah, because 2 years ago I was in hospital. Actually, you know what?
Before you almost died.
Today is my 2-year anniversary again at hospital.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it actually
Congratulations,
is.
bro.
Out of hospital jail. I got a photo I'll show you later of me just like looking like I was literally homeless. It was crazy.
But literally before then, I'd say that's surely when it is really like when we lived.
Got mobile set up.
Yeah, I've got my mic stand just broke on me, and so now I'm just holding the mic.
Beautiful.
Well, when we lived together, we were exactly kipping before like shows. I don't get me wrong. Abroad.
You know what it is? It depends also who I'm
different.
with. It depends who I'm with. If it was me on a solo one, so if it was me on a solo one playing in like I don't know Prague. And my set's at like 4 in the morning. For sure, I'm chilling at the hotel. Go for dinner with the promoter.
Yeah.
Come back to the hotel, have your little chill, and then maybe get to the club at like 3 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like obviously if it's one with the boys, and, all the crew's there, then we're not. There's no sleeping.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah. Mine's similar to you, like different age, like bracket, like things started to change. I guess if I'm abroad, I'm like too excited really. Like when I was drinking like quite a lot before, I'd just be like, right, let's go, like get involved in the madness, whatever's good, I'm on it. Now I won't really sleep, but I'll just
you'll chill.
Yeah, I'll just like chill and like try and soak up as much like local culture as I possibly can, and like,
go out and do something instead of like being in the club drinking.
Yeah.
I think there's also an element of like now it's just more. I just take it more seriously as well. Like, I want to do better as a DJ. So like me just having a time to chill and just like kind of go over the set or whatever it is. It's just me. I don't know. I want to say more professional. It is more professional, but like, I just want to nail it more. So obviously stop drinking as well. It obviously helps, but I
think I had a virus show like before Christmas in December that like no one, like apart from the artists and stuff, I wasn't really like going with anyone. I didn't really have like, I think actually I had my daughter maybe the next day. So I was like, right, tactically, obviously priorities are priorities. So I like kipped before and then got the last train I could possibly get. Got some food, went to the show, and then got a taxi back. Like
the one time I've fully slept before a show was actually playing Fabric. This was ages ago. I think I was playing in room 2 or room 3, and I was playing 5 till 6, and I literally just treated it. I literally just got up super early and treated it like a morning commute. It was the weirdest sensation though, like getting a train to Fabric at like 4 in the morning. And like, basically I had like breakfast and basically went to play a set of Fabric. It was actually kind of a vibe though, but it's a weird environment to walk in when you've just woken up. And you're walking into Fabric and it's just like chaos.
It takes a minute. For me, like it is a weird feeling, like, because obviously I'm like living out of London now, like waking up at like 2 or 3 a.m. is kind of rank, and it's like you're getting ready for a show. Like it really does feel like work at that point. And I don't. That's why I think I will try and avoid that as much as possible. But it's just different scenarios, man.
100%. Harry did actually have a second question. I skipped over it by accident. His second question was, what's your favorite record sleeve artwork, any era and genre? The any genre thing's throwing me off because I could have answered the drum and bass one pretty quickly, I think, but any genre is it's an interesting one. Has anyone got an answer?
I've got an answer. Can it be any genre? Any genre would probably be.
Let's do a D&B one and any genre.
So any genre for me would be like Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, which obviously a very like
that's the
iconic.
prism.
The prism with the light going through. Just for the simple fact, the musicality of it and like my childhood, loads of like factors like that. This, because I saw this before, what this actually made me think of, and it's not necessarily my favourite, but I don't know why, but I'm being taken back to Breakbeat Chaos picture discs from when I was like mixing vinyl as a teenage kid. And like Another Planet and what was the like Red Man Method Man banger? Those two picture discs. Because the reason I'm mentioning this, and like I said, it's not actually like my favourite. But at that time, it was so iconic, and it was like no one was really doing that in D&B. There was Metro Sound. I remember Metro Sound was a tune that had a Metropolis in the background as well. That was a pretty sick one. But I just remember picture discs. That's actually what it made me think of, was like a really iconic moment of my vinyl DJing as my teenage years. Was like, fucking hell, like this is like an artwork on a vinyl. And it was like
funny actually, because I've said it bare time. My first ever vinyl was that Distorted Minds T-10. I'm pretty sure that was on Breakbeat Chaos. But the artwork again was like this like dystopian cartoon. Like the artwork was sick. Actually,
it was good.
It's actually really good.
I've got quite a few just that I've just come to mind while you guys have been chatting.
Go for it.
Screamerism Volume EP series.
When he's in the party.
They're all just fingers.
I know which one.
Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5. Like they're just his fingers on the sleeves.
I
love it. There wasn't a 6. I don't think.
That's why it stopped.
And then
Rich just got it.
I'm looking at him and I'm getting that in the background. Like, bloody hell.
And then also one that again, it's not one of my favourites, and it is a drum and bass one, but it's so hard to not think of this when you think of iconic artworks in drum and bass. But the new Technique EP by New Logic on Hospital, all of the it's kind of hard to describe. It looked like sort of like a blueprint design, but it wasn't a blueprint. It was kind of like a graphic designer sort of like illustration. But none of and there's an interview that Ricky Trickhart, who used to do all the art for Hospital, he gives talking about this artwork because it's one of his favourite ones. And he says that the track titles, whilst they're all cool track titles, none of them kind of lent themselves to any sort of like visual puns or ties. Except like the 3rd or 4th track on the EP was called Bigfoot. So he got the little silhouette of a Sasquatch and just put it on the center label of that one side of the record. And I was like, I love that. It's just a very subtle little nod to one of the tracks on the EP in like a very nice little way of doing it. And I like that EP. I like the artwork.
Nice.
Yeah, that's one of my favourites.
One of my, D&B wise, it's interesting. An artist who I really like his artwork because his friend is sick, is Halogenics, is all of his stuff, because he's got his mate, is it Bertie Draws, is it? He does all the artwork? I think that's his name.
I don't actually know, but yeah.
He's just a cold artist, like, so everything's like super sick. Especially, I really like the All Blue EP on Metalheads.
The All Blue is
that
great.
Artwork is so sick.
With the car in it.
With the car and the girl, like, kind of, like, it's almost like a car accident.
It's also got like,
amazing tunes on it. Yeah, it's weird because obviously you associate with
it. It has to be the music. You can't just be the artwork.
Yeah, and then artworks, again, not my favourite, but they just live in my head just for nostalgia reasons, was High Contrast, High Society, which is literally just a photo of him sitting on a record crate, like, looking at the camera. But I think it's such an iconic piece of artwork that... what else? Yeah, those are the ones that immediately come to mind.
Breakage had one similar to that, didn't he? Of him as a kid, actually.
Yeah,
he's got quite a few of those.
He's got like a bit of a thing going through that, which I think
same with his Foundation
pretty sick.
LP as well. That had a similar bit of artwork. And then someone whose artwork I love, Joker's artwork I always love.
Yeah.
It's just that kind of 16-bit kind of like associated to his sound as well. Like, you look at his artwork and it makes sense with his sound.
Yeah.
So I really like that. And then I guess any other genre. Yeah, I also thought of Pink Floyd because I've got that record. Also Kendrick Lamar's second album. You want to argue his first album, second album, Good Kid, Mad City.
Good Kid, Mad City.
There's a picture of his mum's van, which he raps about consistently in the album. And the actual artwork is a picture of the van outside his old house. So it's just like a really nice tie-in of like the artwork and the story, because that album was literally just a story from start to finish. It's just such a well-written album. Those are the ones that come to mind.
That was the album, just while we're talking about Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
That was, we've probably talked about this before, but I put up a Facebook status like 6 years ago. And I remember putting up this status saying, everybody keeps telling me Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest modern day rappers there is on the planet.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Please, someone like help me, because I want to understand this. I want to see why everybody feels this way. And I was completely inundated with comments of people. But
Kenny fans are ready to ride
the unanimous like album suggestion from everybody was go listen to Good Kid, Mad City. You want to go and appreciate Kendrick's like writing.
In terms of storytelling, it's untouchable.
His storytelling ability is just
crazy.
It's insane. And I went away and listened to that album.
Like when he's talking about like going in the car with his mates and that, and like going to do crimes, like, you literally feel like you're in the car with them. It's insane.
It's so well told, and to this day, I'm still like trying to seek out like if there's another hip hop album that can do it, but and there isn't. There just isn't one. Like,
I agree, for like a one coherent story, that's probably the best album our hip hop album's been written.
I swear we had this conversation before, didn't we? Because I think I spoke to you about the fact that I always get stick about that I'm not his biggest fan either,
I think we have chatted about this,
the voice. And I remember I couldn't believe it when we spoke, because I was like, oh my God, there is somebody else that also, don't get me wrong, I can see the talent and like the lyric writing, the story, I can see it all. And it's so like ignorant almost of like, probably the wrong word, but like it's quite close-minded of me, like, and I judge myself quite harshly on this, because I just can't get past the voice. I can't get past that voice. We always sort of joke about it. It's like, for it to be so like sort of, it seems like really shallow, and it's like I appreciate like conscious storytelling, concept,
everything
techie,
ticks all the boxes.
Literally ticks all the fucking boxes, and I'm there just going like,
but like, tone and like delivery is another thing. It's a big part of it there.
But I think a lot of people really think he's sick with that though.
I was going to say to you, I was like, you're batshit, bro. Because again, it was one of those things that I couldn't put. I wouldn't have been able to put my finger on it. Like what one of the things I wasn't keen on him about. But tone would have been one of them. But then when you go and all you got to do is make it through one or two tunes, and you hear how that tone and delivery isn't just like a quirky aspect of his. Like
it's part of the story.
It's part of it all.
Yeah.
It's all part of it, and it's
what's
just
funny,
so good.
What's funny is the longer I've been a Kendrick Lamar fan, the more I understand why people don't like him, because I love that. But I also, it's a divisive thing. Like he'll rap from like two perspectives and change the voice and do all this stuff.
But I like, Eminem is another controversial one, and I used to love it when he did that.
I also get why people don't like it. I actually also
100% understand why people don't like Eminem. With like, and let's face it, there's been a fucking few dodgy albums, like
Eminem,
but still, like if someone was to say to me like he's a shit rapper, I'd be like fuck off. Like I would never say Kendrick is a shit rapper. And it's obviously like horses for courses, but. Yeah, it's an interesting one.
What's funny is he literally released a verse. Like the only thing I love about Kendrick, I know it's not a Kendrick podcast, but he's hot topic right now because basically, obviously, Drake did his album last year and he had J. Cole on it, and people always talk about J. Cole and Kendrick being the three greatest like rappers alive, like modern day rappers.
Yeah,
and obviously Kendrick and J. Cole were previously friends, but there's always been a Drake Kendrick beef. Anyway. Obviously, they've done this album with Drake and J. Cole, and two of the tunes are basically rapping about how they're like two of the greatest, blah, 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 blah. Kendrick just gets basically Metro Boomin and Future released an album last week as of time of recording, and there's a Kendrick verse on one of the tracks, and he literally, like, what I actually kind of like is I think hip hop is competitive, and Kendrick's always maintained that. He's dropped basically a diss verse on Drake and J. Cole, like a real.
I bet it Max is.
But not even like, normally with his disses, he's a bit more like stealthy with it.
Yeah,
none of that.
Just no holding back.
Yeah. He's quoting his Drake's album. He's like very directly atting him, being like, "You lot ain't shit. I'm number one." Like, it's sick.
I'm gonna check this. This could be the turning point. Yeah, for me,
he did it. Kendrick did the same thing in 2013. There's a very, very infamous verse that he dropped on a Big Sean track called "Control," where he literally, by name, calls out like 20 different rappers and being like, we're in competition. You probably remember
I've heard that. Yeah.
So basically it's him doing that again, just kind of mixing it up a little bit, like throwing a little grenade in there, but like, this is rap, man. Like, it's a competition.
Yeah.
Like, we're not all friends or whatever, which,
Yeah, I mean, healthy competition is good.
There you go. All right, next question. Patrick said, what's your take on pre-recorded sets or parts in a set? Watching some of the Rampage sets, I was wondering how common this actually is.
What is that? Is that a thing?
Well, so it's interesting. Yes, I've seen this discourse on Twitter again recently when talking about if someone like Tiesto or something. Someone's like filmed the CDJ and it said like 20 minutes on it, so clearly it's one long track that's been playing or whatever. The argument I've always had for main stage of massive festivals being pre-recorded is that it syncs up with the pyro and all that stuff's timed or whatever.
Give a shit. Fuck off. Get in the bin now. It's interesting, done.
From a personal point of view, I would never do that.
Of course.
Because part of the fun of DJing is DJing.
I like keeping it in still, mate. Fucking hell.
But like, I also understand that at some point the shows get so big that it is a visual thing, and people there aren't necessarily like
fakery. Get in the bin.
Fuck off. 100%.
I think, whilst I see what you're saying, I do get it.
Advocate.
I get what you mean, but then equally, if you're then going to pre-record chunks of the set to time it up with visuals and pyrotechnics, like if you're an EDC Las Vegas and you're on the main stage, no, bring something different to the table. Don't just stand around dancing, pretending like you're doing so. Actually do something. Like drum live over the top of it, or so. I don't know. Fuck knows, but bring something creative instead of dancing around with your hands in the air. That's what I think then gets ridiculous. And I think the reason why this is now potentially creeping its way into drum and bass is because in those realms, people are just happy to just be like, oh, you can just prance around behind the decks and do nothing for 90 minutes. Whereas
Facebook junglist though.
Yeah, like I think like drum and bass.
I'm with the Facebook junglist on this one. Fucking hell.
I think enough of the drum and bass scene will have an opinion about this to not let people take the piss. Like I think if what you've got is you've got your instrumental tune and you've got an a cappella from another track, and maybe doing that without a hi-hat on the a cappella and mixing that live is a bit, cool, just make a mashup. That's not a problem. That's not too techie. But like make it a triple drop pre-made, like rocking up to the club. You're just a waste man.
It's different. Like making edits is different because that's like it's serving a purpose in a set. Like we've made a couple of edits.
What do you mean by it? Can you like
an edit?
Yeah.
So this is where again, the definition can be a grey area. But like for example, So am I going to say this to bait me out? Yeah. So I've got an edit. Like we've got an edit of a tune that goes from the original version to the garage remix version.
Because I know that shit. Yeah.
Because how would you do that live?
Transitioning,
it's very difficult.
Do it live. You can do it live, but like transitioning from 175 to like 130. Famously is not that
you're getting a pass.
So that's an edit, what I'd say. Or Jack's example of taking an acapella and putting it over the top of another tune.
I also wouldn't even mind that.
Yeah, so we're not talking about that. We're talking about mixes of tunes.
No.
Like sequences of tunes.
Yeah, like in a small portion of your set is pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Get in the bin. Yeah. If I can mix and MC at the same time, fucking put the work in and play a live set. This is live music. This is club music.
I do agree.
Piss off.
I also think this argument with the whole pyro thing loses weight a little bit because the mix is done. You know what the tunes are. You could just practice the mix and do it live.
But then also as well, like if we can have 4K visuals linked and synced to a CDJ now, you set it up once and then wherever that DJ plays, whenever they play that WAV, it's just linked. Yeah. There is no, again, I don't want to make the assumption that you can. But if there isn't already a way to sync pyrotechnics to a tune in the CDJ realm, then there's a gap in the market for a hardware developer to do that or a software developer to do that. Do you know what I mean? So, I think that's a bit of a cop-out.
We all feel pretty strongly about
we do.
Patrick.
So there you go, Patrick. There's your answer, mate.
In all honesty, like anyone who's doing that, go watch an AMC stream and then be like, this guy's doing this.
Just use sync.
Without it. And like, you can do a quarter of that, then good for you. Yeah. Like, well done.
But the thing is, what we've got to just hope is that the only people that we're hoping to ever need to say that statement to are people like your David Guetters and your Calvin Harris.
No, so I have seen, I'm going to say who, but I've seen
we want to make sure that just stays the fuck out of drum and bass.
I've seen
£10 tier,
£10 tier, you find out who. But I've seen videos of notable drum bass DJs being caught out with pre-recorded.
Yeah, £10 tier.
Can we not call them out?
Yeah,
come on,
these guys. What are you doing, man? What are you lot doing?
Nah, call them out, man. I don't care.
We're monetizing, bro.
What are these men doing? What are they doing?
We're trying to get big time minutes.
Whoever, fair enough. We probably shouldn't be like.
We might try to get them on the show as well.
Some war. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, allow it.
Yeah, so we'll allow it.
We'll ask them when they come on live.
So why did you do
set
this?
You done? Like, hots you up.
So basically, but the AMC thing is a great example because some people just don't want to put the work in that Alex has put in to get that good bass.
100.
And also, like, there's tools now to help you, like sync. If you're doing the stuff that Alex does and you're using sync, I'll be like, fair enough, because you're mixing this many things and like use the technology, man. Like, don't use Ableton, use the technology the Pioneers provided, you know.
Sync, honestly, like that's another one that obviously
I don't care about that though.
I couldn't give it. I like personally, I don't use it. I said on this podcast before, I think that I probably should when I'm trying to MC and mix at the same time, but honestly, I just kind of like the fucking. I'm just a bit old school.
It's more for me. I've got PTSD from people who have left sync on the deck, and it's messed me up.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't want to start using it. I've got decks at home, so I could practice.
You don't really need it, man. I quite like, honestly, if I hear a DJ in a live environment and it goes a little bit out, almost have this little like, nice, like, and then you can just hear them like
his mix
correct
goes
it a
in
bit.
and out, and it's very satisfying.
It's so satisfying.
There's the human organicness to it.
Yeah, I'm not cussing someone off for that. It's like that's part of it, man. It's like it's the beauty of it. It's the fun.
All right, last question. It's a stupid one.
that's how we like it.
They know us well.
Saddle, Mr. Adrian. He just asked, why do you even record this podcast?
Vibes.
Wow, Adrian.
We were going to get you on as a guest.
We're going to get you on as a guest because you're basically in London now. But yeah, it's just vibes, isn't it? It's just vibes. Yeah. I don't think it needs any more of an answer.
No.
Guess who /20 questions?
Yeah, we got a new segment we're going to do.
A new segment.
Can I explain it? Because I'm in charge.
You're the host.
It's my hosting section.
Go for it.
Right, so we're doing Guess Who. So I've picked an artist, a drum and bass artist specifically. For now, we're going to start with drum and bass ones. All right, I reckon that's probably. Oh God, sorry. And you guys will take turns asking me questions to try and be the first one to work out correctly who I'm thinking of.
It's got to be yes or no answers, right?
Yeah.
That's all you can do. So it's like the official rules of Guess Who.
20
we just haven't got people to knock down on our board for those that are
done
over 30
questions.
years old.
But yeah. Yeah, that was a vibe.
It was a vibe.
They're wearing glasses. Yeah. Okay. Should we flip? Oh, I haven't got a coin to flip. You can go first. I'll go first next time.
Cool. Are they female?
No, they're male.
Have they released music in the last year?
I don't think they have released music in the last year.
Ooh. Okay, because you've got to think on your feet now when it changes. Not released music in the last year. Were they releasing on Hospital?
They were releasing on Hospital.
I know who it is.
Well, when it's your turn, mate, you can waste one of your questions having a
got
guess.
to go and get it right, otherwise you're.
I mean, I don't necessarily know. If I guess wrong, what happens? Am I out of the game?
You wasted a chance.
Okay, it's logistics.
Yeah, it's logistics.
I knew it was logistics. I'm so fucking annoying.
You should have said nothing.
Do you know what?
Because I want to guess.
Would you not?
If you
I knew.
Was that
I just knew.
literally that obvious?
you-
Like,
No,
he hasn't
but do you know
released
what?
in a
I know how
year.
much
It's
you
a
love
bloke on Hospital.
logistics.
Yeah.
I know how much you love logistics, and like who doesn't love logistics?
Yeah, we
and
all
I'm
love
obviously very aware because I'm like, oh, I can't
If you
wait for
hadn't
logistics.
said
I know.
I know who it is. I would have asked another question, then you could have been like, it's logistics. So basically, you gave the game away.
Right,
Yeah.
so now we know for the next episode
We'll
like,
put a
how
little
you guys can
scoreboard
play
up.
it.
Yo,
Or do you want
we'll
to
do
do?
it.
Should we do one
Oh,
more?
that's
Should we do
peak.
one more?
Well, you want to do? Yeah,
We can do another round.
We got to do what we're listening to as well.
Yeah.
if
All right. Well,
we're
let's
doing
squeeze
that
one more
segment,
round
but
in. I've
yeah.
got an artist. So, John, do you want to go first this time?
Okay. Is
believe I asked
this
that.
person a producer and DJ?
Yes.
Is this person female?
No.
Okay.
Is this person? Do they own their own label?
Yes.
That's a really good one, actually. Do they release jump up music?
No.
Is this person Spy?
No.
Is it Alex Perez?
No.
Shit.
Is this person Break?
Yes.
Oh, for God's sake.
We got to stop guessing too early, guys.
Yeah. I mean, that's
All right,
you're
so
allowed
it's
to
2-0.
guess early, but yeah.
2-0 to me. We'll keep a running tally of the score.
I'm going to get rinsed at this, I reckon.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, 100.
If
I like this game, though, it's
Jack will
good.
tell you though. We did a pub years ago.
Oh,
we did a
fuck's sake.
promo for Sugar that never came out.
Yeah.
It was like a pub quiz, Galaxy versus Pola and Bryson.
It was
and there is
embarrassing.
video footage of it. And I've got the video somewhere. There was basically a guess the tune from the intro round. And no joke, like Jack will tell you, there was basically Comments Be True came on, yeah, but I'm talking about the first 0.3 milliseconds of the white noise blast at the start of the tune.
He knew it.
I knew it.
He knew it.
So
Like, not only did he knew it, he could pluck the Comics Be True.
Yeah, but it was
instantly
that
out of his
quick,
brain.
though.
Like,
That's
you're
mad.
sitting there going, "Oh, I know this intro."
Yeah,
What is
yeah,
it?
but it was
What
like
is it?
the
Yeah.
first like
It's
millisecond
mad,
of white
bruv.
noise blast. But to be honest, like,
Bonkers.
I wouldn't be able to do that now. Though I was way more tuned in then.
Yeah, please, let's not start like playing fucking intros of tunes and doing that because I'm going to be in so much trouble if we do
Nah,
that.
if it's from like 1983 and before, then you're fine.
what
Because it is modern era.
was that prehistoric jungle era?
prehistoric jungle, exactly. Then you'll be fine. Yeah, let's finish up with what everyone's listening to then. To be fair, I actually don't think I've actually listened to anything new since the last time.
I weirdly have, and I'm usually not on it.
Oh no, that's not true actually. I've got one album that came out on Friday, just gone, at the time of recording. And Rich is trying to get his copyright struck. Real straightforward one. So there's an R&B singer who I love called, I think it's S-I-R, but I always call him Sir. I don't know if it's Sire or Sir.
It's Sir.
It's,
S-I-R. He's
S-I-R,
brother
yeah.
or cousins
D-Smoke.
with D-Smoke.
D-Smoke, yeah.
that's it.
He won that hip-hop competition TV show, didn't he, in America?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
that's where he's from. So D-Smoke and him are brothers. He's actually a sick rapper as well, D-Smoke. But yeah, Sir just dropped a new album, Wicked. It's called Heavy. Really, really good. Bit of a romantic one. Yeah, wicked album.
Spectral EP. that on Friday.
Oh, yeah, shout out
yeah,
Caitlin.
I never really do a drum and bass one, so I was like,
yeah, we should shout her out though, man. That's the first ever release.
Yeah.
So she was at EQ50 mentee, so we shout them out as well. Big up EQ50.
Yeah.
So she was critical. For people that don't know, EQ50 do amazing work, bringing through young women, non-binary producers, and they basically are able to place a mentee with a label each year. So Shogun have one, Critical, all the labels that are involved take on one. Caitlin joined, I think it was 2020. I saw Kaz posted about it. I think it was 2020.
Nice.
And yeah, they're basically mentoring her in terms of like developing as a DJ. She's a wicked DJ and as a producer. And yeah, just got her first release now, Critical.
Yeah, 4-track EP.
Yeah.
Some bangers on there.
Yeah, yeah.
What's it? It's Binary Volume 27, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then actually I heard there's like a Sully track with
Salo,
yeah.
They've done a couple because one came out sick though.
This is nice. This was out this year. I hadn't heard this. I don't know when it come out.
It must be the one you're talking about.
But yeah, sick. Big. I mean, Sully just kills it every single time.
And Salo,
and yeah,
we had a session with a few weeks ago. I basically spent it the whole time telling her how much I think she's amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
your voice is so good.
Talented.
Sick DJ as well. Nice.
And then also like relatively new, like Black Josh release, which is Blast Styling Trilogy.
Nice.
3 tracks, UK hip hop. Guy kills it. Yeah, go check him out if you like.
Actually, plugged to one of our previous episodes, Hieroglyphics. Produced for Black Josh, so go check that. He talks about it on the episode.
Yeah, maybe he did them actually.
Yeah,
might be in the fine print, but not on Spotify.
Yeah, well, we'll track for that one coming on YouTube. Jack, any new music?
Not new music. No, I've been kind of having a little bit of like a throwback week. I was listening to Constant Dyke Star by Dirty Dyke.
Yes.
Meteora by Linkin Park.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Food by MF Doom. Just having like a really just enjoyable
20th anniversary of I forgot the name of the album.
it was one of them.
Like today, I think it is, or yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was yesterday.
I don't know.
And then also, do you know what? Just because I saw a comment on this and was like, do you know what? I can't remember what it was like.
Mad Villainy, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Mad Villainy. Yeah.
Right, 20th anniversary.
I saw a comment the other day being like, oh, I wish I could re-experience listening to Igor by Tyler the Creator for the first time again. And I went, I've listened to that album, but I can't remember listening to it for the first time. And I went back and was like, yeah, that was a really good first listen for an album. So yeah, enjoyed, went back there and yeah, gave that another spin through.
Nice.
He's
your guy, innit? I need to check him out.
Tyler.
I think, yeah.
He's just like, you know what it is I love about Tyler? Yeah, it's just he's like everything. My opinion on him not changed, but like I was more into him when I watched the Cherry Bomb. So that's his like third album, I think.
Right.
It wasn't an amazing album, but I watched the documentary about it making it.
Yeah.
And that's when I found out he played like 7 instruments.
Oh,
he
wow.
recorded loads of it in Hans Zimmer's studio in Germany, I think.
I mean, amazing.
Like the documentary is sick, and it's like you watch.
What documentary is that?
Yeah, so the album's called Cherry Bomb, and it's just the Cherry Bomb documentary.
Is it like a YouTube?
It's on YouTube, yeah.
Okay.
And basically, you know when you just watch someone's process and you realize how much of like a creative, like full player. I watched that with him and I was just like, this guy is serious, man. Right. And you've seen it since, like his music since then has been amazing.
Yeah, and that's when I first heard about Tyler the Creator, like I thought he was a very one-sided sort of rapper, right? And then
his early stuff was super controversial.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and then there was 1 or 2 bits I heard and I was like, oh, it's not really my cup of tea. And then you don't really listen to his stuff for a while. And then you come back and you hear these 3 albums he's written in the 4 or 5 years you've not been paying attention.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God.
Like development.
Yeah, development. And like clearly like an artistic vision that goes beyond what I expected it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's just been a really sort of like refreshing sort of revisit to go back and go, man, I slept on a lot of this. And like interesting to see.
It's funny as well because like,
after it's done, knowing what the 5th album is going to sound like, going back and listening to that 3rd and that 4th one, knowing what's coming, which obviously he may have known, but the average fan didn't know what was coming. It's kind of a different perspective.
Yeah, there's certain types of creative, and it's obviously the episode that's not out yet. If you're watching this one, it might be out. We were talking about Alex Perez. I think there's certain people in different spaces who just kind of follow this. They just have this thing about them where it's like everything they do creatively has this like just touch to it where it's like that could have only come from them.
Yeah, it's their
And I think
touch,
Tyler's like that.
It's like when someone has a sound, but it's like beyond their
so
sound.
with Tyler as well, he does. He's got his own clothing brand, GLXY, which is like a really successful clothing brand, and he does all the design. He's just done a collection for Louis Vuitton. Like he's been asked to design one.
Wow.
He does his own festival. He does obviously his music. It's like he just does this stuff, and it's like it doesn't really matter what format it's taken. It's just him creating.
It's artistry.
And I think that's same thing with Alex and drum and bass. Like the artwork, the fashion, the everything. The similar thing. Like there's loads of like obviously controversial ones like Kanye. Like there's people that are just like all round creatives. I think.
Yeah.
It was the first thing you showed me of his that freestyle. Some jokes.
The jokes.
That freestyle is so funny.
It's one of the funniest things you'll ever see. Like, it's the Funkmaster Flex one, isn't it? On his radio show.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
No, I'm gonna have to go and watch this.
Is that? It's Ciroc Studios Funkmaster Flex, the same thing that Black Thought Murders, like the best like freestyle of all time.
So it's like a pretty reputable. If anyone doesn't know, just go Google it. It's like a pretty very reputable like hip hop freestyle platform.
What's it called? It's Funk Flex.
It's Funk Flex, yeah.
That's the guy and what it's called.
Yeah, I can't remember what the actual radio station's called, but
it's Ciroc Studios.
Loads of amazing artists have been on there. The Black Thought one's like one of the most amazing. Like
the Black Thought one rinses anything. When I set out to do mine, I was like, that's the benchmark. Really.
Yeah, that 12-minute freestyle.
It's
basically, Tyler goes on massive platform and basically just actually freestyles, but like bars that make funk so uncomfortable. He's basically coming onto him, and it's like quite a macho environment where it's like.
But he actually freestyles.
Actually freestyles.
He just turns up just being like a joker.
Yeah, like nothing prepared. He's just like rapping about him and Funk going on a date. And
it's
stuff.
So good.
It's honestly one of the funniest things you'll see, man. Yeah. Well worth a watch. But that was our super quick fire again. So episode. So I'm just gonna say, please do keep the questions coming because we love answering the questions, and it does form a big part of these episodes.
Yes.
Obviously, comment on the YouTube video what you'd like to see in terms of guests or topics. DM's always open. Big up to people that also I did see someone sent us some book recommendations as well, and they commented in the video as well, the last video.
Oh, nice.
Some interest because we were talking about the Rick Rubin thing and the Jay Dilla thing. We love all that stuff, man. Keep it coming. But Patreon again. One more plug.
Yeah.
£10 tier coming soon. But that's it, man. Big up everyone. Catch you next week.
Peace.
Safe.